Yeah, grab audio somebody number 28. I just got this, baby. Because this is how it works. This is exactly how it works. Greetings, welcome back, folks. Happy to have you here. Rush Limbaugh, the Excellence in Broadcasting Network. 800-282-2882 if you want to join us. On the phones, the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. Okay, so I was all prepared to move on here. I had shared with you the details of the Trump budget as presented by the budget director, Mick Mulvaney. I had shared with you the objective of 3.5% growth, a taxpayer-oriented budget. I shared with you the various cabinet departments, the bureaucracies that will be cut. I gave you the percentages. And Julie said that this is what Trump was elected for, and this is what they are working on. And if this kind of thing actually happened, then it'd be Katie by the door, or bar the door. This is exactly why Trump was elected. The economy, the economy, the economy. And, of course, immigration, the wall are part of that. So what happens next? Okay, so Mulvaney was good. So this is how it works. They go out and they find an old denizen of the swamp. They find an old swamp creature. They find somebody that slithered around the swamp for decades as an official establishmentarian. They go out and find somebody, preferably a Republican, who loves Democrats. And they go out there and they find this guy, or gal, as it may be. And then they ask this guy, this old denizen of the swamp, what he or she thinks of this newfangled, crazy budget idea that Trump's budget director just put forward. Well, the swamp denizen that they found and dredged up here is former Wyoming Senator Alan Simpson, babe. That's our pet nickname for him because Senator Simpson, in his later years, was often critical of me. He referred to me as Rush Babe. Remember that in public comments. So we return the favor, Alan Simpson, babe. So anyway, this denizen of the swamp, Alan Simpson, think of him as McCain in a cowboy hat. 6'5", skinny, thin, can eat and drink whatever he wants, has that narrow face and that drawl from Wyoming. He's considered a man of some of the quaint, what's the word I'm looking for? All this ancient wisdom that just rolls off his tongue. Rick Santelli was tasked with interviewing this denizen of the swamp, former Senator Alan Simpson, babe, Republican, Wyoming. And Santelli said, quite simply, what's your reaction to the Trump budget?
I've been listening with great interest, quite dazzling, actually. I thought of an old phrase from my law practice: if you torture statistics long enough, eventually they'll confess. That is a dream world. That's over the rainbow. The Great Oz is taking us over the rainbow. That can't possibly be. And then to do this and not touch two-thirds of the American budget is a tragedy, and two-thirds of the American budget is the cost of health care, forget what the hell you call it, and the solvency of Social Security. Leave those two babies off the table, and you're just absolutely out of your gourd.
So, you see, it's just not possible. It's not possible. The old swamp denizens know full well you can't do it. Why, this kind of thing has never been done, except for when it was. Back in the 1980s. You just can't do it. These people out of their gourds. I don't know what they're smoking. That's a famous rejoinder from Senator Simpson, babe. Don't know what they're smoking, don't know what they're drinking, but it's just not possible. You're out of your gourd. It's never going to happen. Can't be. Then this is how they do it. This is how the establishment circles the wagons. You go out and you find somebody who has indeed never done it, and you get him to tell everybody else it can't be done. And he's a Republican. It'd be one thing if the swamp denizen was a Democrat, but the swamp denizen that they dredged up here is a Republican. This is how they do it, folks. I mean, Can't help but laugh at this. Excuse me, but I know it's serious. But I just, all of this is so predictable. You know, the Cants never did anything. And people who are, you know, you can find people that are pessimists anywhere you go. You can find negative people everywhere you go. The last thing in the world you want to do is talk to them, because all they're going to do is cement pessimism in you. You know, back when I was more frequently asked for career advice than I am now, one of the things I always told people, whatever your business, I don't care if it's radio, if it's Wall Street, if it's Main Street retail, whatever you do, do not hang around people who failed at it. Whatever you do, do not take guidance from people who failed at it, unless they at some point succeeded. If you talk to because everybody who fails is bitter, and failures often blame everybody else. I can't tell you the number of times when I was a young whippersnapper in Cape Girardeau working in radio as a teenager and dreaming big, and every time I'd meet somebody that worked at a larger market, which was what you wanted, that's how you climb the ladder in radio, you move to a bigger city, a bigger station. I can't tell you the number of guys I talked to that told me, forget it. It's not possible. They're just not going to let it happen to you. It won't. I mean, it's mean. It's rough out there. You can't do it. And you, besides, you don't even have the talent. I don't even know why you're even dreaming. You're not any good. Why do you want to hear this? You know, pessimism is there's something fascinating about it. Pessimism is, I don't know if attractive is the right word, but it's magnetic. You have to, pessimism is easy. We all can do it. We don't need to read books on how to be pessimists, need guidance on how to think negatively, but we do need guidance on how to think positively. People that write books on how to do that are multimillionaires. And I had my share of people telling me I couldn't do it, that it couldn't be done, that it wasn't worth trying, that the business is too cruel and too mean-spirited. And one day I finally, why am I listening to these people? So I made it a point that I was only going to talk to, or try to, talk to people who'd succeeded. Same thing here in Washington. They never find anybody who thinks it can be done because they have done it or participated in it having been done. They never. Unless they're talking about things that nobody likes, and that even if they succeed, it's bad news. Like things the left wants to do. Those are all bad news. You can find people that are, will be pessimistic or optimistic about pessimism. That's another dual-edged sword. Those kind of people are really frustrating. Those who are optimistic about the worst happening. Those who are optimistic about being negative. But they never inspire. It's amazing how in the drive-by media, in the American, you notice how rare it is. When you're watching a TV show or a movie where it features optimism, can-do spirit, great accomplishment, everybody comments on it because it's so rare. And everybody tells everybody else to go see it. You should see what happened, because everything we're treated to is a barrage of the worst. It's either on the horizon or it's happening now. And there's no way out. And it's going to ensnare all of us. I don't care what it is. And this is a classic case. So you're all up to speed and hot to trot on this budget, and they drag out somebody who hasn't worked well. He may be a lobbyist. I don't know what he is doing now. I want Simpson, babe.